Shams. Baghdad, September 30th, 1243. Battling strong winds, my horse and I rode away at dawn. Only once did I look back. The Dervish lodge stood behind me like a bird's nest hidden among trees. I could still see Baba Zaman's tired face in my mind. He was worried about me, but I felt no fear. I had begun a journey of love, how could such a path bring harm? It was my 10th rule, east, west, south, or north, it makes no difference. No matter where you go, make every journey a journey within. If you travel within your heart, you travel the entire world and beyond. Though I knew challenges awaited me, I was calm. Whatever came my way, I would welcome it. As a Sufi, I had learned to accept both the rose and the thorn, the beauty and the pain of life. This brought me to another rule: the midwife knows that without pain, the child cannot be born. Likewise, a new self can only be born through hardship. Just as clay must pass through fire to become strong, love too becomes perfect only through pain. The night before leaving the lodge, I opened all my windows. The cool air and the scent of darkness entered my room. By candlelight, I took scissors and cut off my long hair. Then I shaved my beard, mustache, and even my eyebrows. When I looked in the mirror, I saw no age, no name, no past or future, only this moment. Your journey is already changing you, Baba Zaman said softly when I went to say goodbye. Yes, Master, I replied. That is one of the 40 rules, the search for love changes us. No one who seeks love remains the same. The moment we start looking for it, we begin to change, inside and out. Baba Zaman smiled and brought out a velvet box. Inside were 3 gifts, a silver mirror, a silk handkerchief, and a glass bottle of ointment. These will help you on your journey, he said. If you lose self-esteem, the mirror will show your inner beauty. If your name is stained, the handkerchief will remind you of your pure heart. And the balm, it will heal your wounds, both inside and out. I thanked him deeply, closed the box, and bowed. When the first light of morning touched the leaves, I mounted my horse. Birds sang softly as dew sparkled on the branches. I set off toward Konya, not knowing what awaited me, but trusting the destiny that God had written for me. The Novice. Baghdad, September 30th, 1243. Behind Shams of Tabriz, I rode my stolen horse. I tried to stay far enough to follow him unnoticed, but soon he saw me. When Shams stopped at a bazaar to rest and buy supplies, I ran forward and threw myself in front of his horse. Ginger-haired fool, what are you doing on the ground? Shams asked, half laughing. I knelt like a beggar and pleaded, please let me come with you. I want to be your disciple. He looked at me carefully and asked, do you even know where I'm going? I hesitated. No, I said, but it doesn't matter. I just want to learn from you. You are my role model. Shams shook his head. I travel alone. I want no followers. And I am not a role model for anyone. He paused, then added, if you ever look for a teacher, remember this rule: there are more fake gurus in the world than stars in the sky. Don't mistake power-hungry people for true mentors. A real spiritual guide, he continued, doesn't demand admiration or obedience. Instead, he helps you discover the beauty within yourself. A true teacher is like clear glass, letting the light of God shine through. Please give me a chance, I begged. Even great travelers had helpers or apprentices. Shams thought for a moment. Do you have the strength to walk beside me? I nodded eagerly. Yes, my strength comes from within. Then prove it, he said. Go to that tavern, buy a pitcher of wine, and drink it here in the bazaar. I froze. My face went pale. I can't do that. I said in fear. If my father finds out, he'll beat me. He sent me to the lodge to be a better Muslim. What will people think of me? Shams looked at me sharply. His gaze burned through me. You see. You cannot be my disciple, he said firmly. You care too much about what others think. Those who seek approval will always live under others' judgment. Desperate, I said, I thought you were testing me. Wine is forbidden, I didn't want to disobey God. But that would mean I'm playing God, Shams replied. We are not here to judge each other's faith. I stood in confusion, my thoughts pounding in my head. Shams looked at me kindly but firmly. You wish to walk the path, yet you sacrifice nothing. Whatever you hold most dear, money, fame, comfort, or pleasure, you must give it up first. He patted his horse and said, Stay here in Baghdad. Become an honest merchant. I think you'd be good at it. But don't be greedy. Then he saluted me, kicked his horse, and galloped away. Dust rose behind him as the sound of hoofbeats faded into the horizon. I jumped onto my horse and tried to follow, but the distance between us grew wider. Soon he was only a dark dot in the distance. Even after he disappeared, I could still feel his eyes on me, heavy and unforgettable. Ella. Northampton, May 24, 2008. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Ella truly believed that. Every morning, weekday or weekend, she made her way to the kitchen. A proper breakfast, she thought, set the mood for the whole day. Magazines said families who ate breakfast together were happier, but Ella's mornings were far from peaceful. Her kitchen felt like a battlefield of choices. One child wanted toast and jam, another wanted cereal, her husband waited for scrambled eggs, and her daughter refused to eat anything. Still, Ella prepared breakfast every day, determined that no one in her family would start the day hungry or with junk food. But this morning was different. When Ella entered the kitchen, she didn't brew coffee or toast bread. Instead, she sat down and opened her laptop. Her heart raced as she checked her inbox, and there it was, an email from Aziz. Email from Aziz. Dear Ella. I'm happy to hear things are better between you and your daughter. I left the village of Mamastanango at dawn. Though I stayed only a few days, I felt sad to leave. Perhaps I'll never see that small Guatemalan village again. Each goodbye feels like a small death. Life is a series of births and deaths. For new experiences to come, old ones must fade away. While there, I meditated on your aura. I saw 3 colors, warm yellow, shy orange, and calm purple. These, I believe, are your colors. In a nearby town called Chagil, I asked an old woman to choose a tapestry for a lady from Northampton. From many colors, she picked one with yellow, orange, and purple. Coincidence? I don't think so. Warm regards, Aziz. Ella closed her eyes and tried to picture the colors around her, yellow, orange, purple. But what she saw was not herself as a grown woman. It was the face of a 7-year-old girl, her childhood self. Memories rushed back like waves. Her mother's pale face, her green apron, a measuring cup in her hand. Paper hearts hung on the wall, and her father's body swinging from the ceiling. He had taken his life during Christmas. Ella remembered blaming her mother for that tragedy. She had promised herself that she would never fail in her marriage like her mother did. To be different, she married a man of her own faith. But deep inside, she still carried that unease, a shadow of the past. Mom. Earth to Mom. Ella turned around to see all 4 of her children standing there, giggling. For once, everyone had come for breakfast at the same time. They stared at her like she was a stranger. Good morning, she smiled. How come you didn't hear us? Orly asked. You were lost in that laptop, David added. Ella quickly shut the screen. I was working on my report, she said. Avi frowned. No, you weren't. You were reading emails. Ella blushed but stayed silent. The others looked past her toward the kitchen counter. Orly finally asked what they all wondered, Mom, how come you didn't make breakfast today? Ella turned and saw, no coffee, no toast, no eggs. Only silence. She smiled faintly and thought, right, how did I forget breakfast?